Okay, so let's try to continue this. I'm really freaking out because I just am realizing what I'm seeing on my phone when I go to focus on something, or it focuses on me. And there's a golden square around my face, or whatever I'm trying to focus on. That is just too beautiful for words. So let's maybe try to tell this. Let's go back to the golden box. There's a golden box. Oh my god. Come in box. What is happening? What is this? This is... Ouch. Okay, so to continue with this story, I was in a golden box. An illuminated box of bright gold light. And there were two windows in front of me on the right side from where I walked in. And in one of them, they were up high. So, out of my reach, but not in an appropriate way. And behind them it was pitch black. It was dark. And in one of them sat my grandfather, perched on the sort of sill area there. And he was a bit younger. I mean, he was as I remembered him as a grandfather, but just a bit younger, healthier, full of life, And he sat there, and he looked at me, and he said, "This is, oh shit, been hard on you. This has been hard for you." And I said, "Yes, you disappeared." And he said, "I know." And he said, I'm gonna stay here with you in this golden room, this illuminated place, and until you are okay to let me go. But really it was to see what is the truth. And he did. And a lot of this experience was spent just in the same space, not able to touch, my God, but together, and letting myself sort of feel that everything was okay, gonna be all right, and like taking in the illumination that was being offered to me with him. And it was very warm and comforting. And he said, "Hey, I miss you, and I love you, and that's never gonna change." And a few other words were exchanged, and then it was time. It was time. And he told me some totally dorky cheeseball grandfather joke, and he used to call me Birdhead. What's happening? was his nickname for me. My whole relationship with him was Birdhead. And he called me that, and he also told me some totally corny cheeseball joke about steak, like that he would tell, about how he's allowed to eat whatever he wants. This is a lot. Oh my God. And then he said, I want you to stay in this place as long as you like, but this golden room of illumination is your space, and I want you to stay in it as long as you like. I want you to watch me leave. I want you to watch where I'm going. And he said, I love you again, and then he went through the open window, into the dark. The pitch black dark. And I watched him walk into the dark. Not the light, the dark. I was in the light. And as he did and began to disappear into it, it was the most beautiful thing I'd ever seen. Gosh, it really was. It wasn't scary at all. It was that he was, what did I say earlier? I want to try to remember. It was important. He wasn't evaporating, and he wasn't disappearing, and he wasn't leaving. He was going into the rest or the next part of, his own soul process, into this gestating, generating, reproducing womb of life. Can't see there, but you can feel. And it is where things are birthed from. So he was continuing, wasn't leaving. And it's the opposite of all the things we're taught about the dark. He was evolving and healing and regenerating and moving on and in and through. And the energy, once it touches you, it's always there, and it doesn't die. It doesn't die. And we can access it, but we also all are energetically allowed, entitled, and required to participate in our own soul processes of renewal, constant renewal, not death. And I get to watch that happen through him. I just want to say, God, that understanding of darkness has helped me so much. Know my own roots and manage and be inspired through my own relationship with this sort of collective imposition of a demonic kind of darkness, I'm so grateful, and I'm just want to say 16. Happy what would have been 95th birthday to my grandfather. And I love you. Thank you so much.